I got another video. All right, and we went over shutter speed, but the two main things that it is responsible for, as you can see in this article, is changing the brightness, which I explained in a previous video, and it also changes the effect of your photo, whether freezing action, which I mentioned to you guys, and blurring motion. Now, the second paragraph, this is all the scientific, and really technical stuff. I'm not going to get into all of that with you guys. Just keep it in layman's terms where you can understand. Motion blur. This is affected by shutter speed. You can get this effect when you slow the shutter speed. To get this kind of effect, you have to slow it down to almost like a second to about 4 or 5 seconds. Typically, the slower the shutter speed, the more motion blur that you will have in the photo. And how you see how this photo, everything else is still clear, but the object that is moving has motion blur. You can get this technique just by playing with your shutter speed. This right here is the ultimate cheat code. If you're trying to get a certain effect with a subject or object that's in motion, here you go. It's right here. So like I just previously stated, if you want to achieve motion blur, you will have to slow that shutter speed down, and you will honestly have to slow it down to at least about half a second or even longer than that. Now this can also affect if you're into long exposure photography, messing with lights and stuff. I know how to do that. I will put y'all on. I'll show y'all how to do that in another video. Now, if you want to freeze your subject, like this is very imperative. Like if you're into wildlife photography or you're into sports photography where there's action going on and it's very fast, this is what you would need to achieve. At least 1/125th of a second, but more like for sports and definitely capturing animals like birds in flight or cheetah running, for example. You definitely need to bump that up to at least about 1/1000th of a second or maybe even faster. And again, remember what I said in my previous video, shutter speed also affects lighting as well. So if you're going to change your shutter speed, you also have to adjust your ISO depending on your lighting situation as well as your aperture. So shutter speed is very simple. It's not really complicated, But I'll catch you guys on the next one.